One of the hottest news at the moment trending on the Nigeria internet space is the viral video of the fight between Verydarkman and Mr. Jollof inside an aircraft, inside an aeroplane. According to verifiable sources, Mr. Jollof and Verydarkman found each other or found themselves inside the same aeroplane or aircraft flying from Asaba down to Lagos State. And that very airline is United Airline. As many of you are already aware that in the last weeks and months that Verydarkman and Mr. Jollof had in the past had a very big fallout, very big misunderstanding where Verydarkman also alleged contact say Mr. Jollof wife say he dey knack yahoo boys. Mr. Jollof also gave Verydarkman back his own yab, in equal measure. You know what I mean? And ever since then, both of them have been in a very strong loggerheads. In fact, they have threatened each other. In fact, they had threatened each other earlier before now. Say one day, they go fight them out. And coincidentally, they found each other in that very airline. An altercation started. According to verifiable information, Mr. Jollof and Verydarkman were sitting adjacent to each other. And when the altercation intensified, Verydarkman stood up from his own chair and went to Mr. Jollof. And on getting to, Mr. Jollof in a way of confrontation, Mr. Jollof now threw the first punch. Now so, fight, take start. More now watch the video.
You go like don't back for that for flag. Go slap you come down. One life is a media, I get a follow.
Please, see.
I don't understand you.
Oh, I don't chop Jollof, father. Where's I please? See, they bite me. Man, where they bite? They bite. Man, where they bite? You know, shame, they bite me. This person, man, where they bite? You won't bite me. Man, where the bites? I beat. They beg, they help him. They bite me. Jollof, they bite me. If they bite me, I enter plane, I see him. After I say, today, he go slap me. I go near and I punch me, boom. When I follow him, he started bite me. Yeah, red. He bites me. Sure? Who is this man? Man, my phone for easy. My phone? Ah, he bites me. Oh God. He won't spoil my tattoo now. It's in teeth and no brush.
First of all, what happened between Mr. Jollof and Verydarkman is a display of one of those strong rascalities that we have always condemned on this very channel. Is a display of rascality to the highest order. And again, is a very big disgrace to the Nigerian youth. Is a very big disgrace to the Nigerian young adult, because Verydarkman is 31 years old. Mr. Jollof is 38 years old. And both of them are no longer, teenagers. As a matter of fact, even though Mr. Jollof is older than Verydarkman, both of them can be considered to be young adults. And yet, both of them had the temerity, the effrontery, to display this rascality of the highest order which undoubtedly will go a long way to mislead a lot of Nigerians that this is one of the best ways to live. In a sane climb, it is condemnable. What they displayed in that very aircraft will go down the history. And I can tell you, both of them will eventually attract a ban from the airline authority of this very country, Nigeria. Yeah, Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria is definitely going to react to that. And as such, it is expected from all ramifications, from all indications, that both of them will receive ban. Yeah, irrespective of who threw the first punch. Having established that Verydarkman and Mr. Jollof disappointed Nigeria and Nigerians immensely, because these persons individually have people who look up to them as their role models. So in return, what exactly do you intend to communicate? What type of lifestyle, what type of virtues, what type of learning do you intend to communicate to your role models by fighting inside an aircraft? It is quite unfortunate. Having established that, let's go a little bit into details in order to establish who the primary aggressor is. You know, Verydarkman and Mr. Jollof were having an altercation. Verydarkman stood up from his chair and confronted Mr. Jollof. You know, and Mr. Jollof threw the first punch. I'm not a legal practitioner, but if you begin to look at it from the legal system point of view, whoever throws the first punch becomes the primary aggressor. Yes. And this person can further be charged with assault. And this person can further be charged with assault, public assault, and further, you know, also receive ban from the airline. You know what I mean? A lot of persons may say that Mr. Jollof was provocated by Verydarkman because by the virtue of the fact that Verydarkman confronted him, you know, down to his seat. Yes, I share the same opinion with you, but it is often said that verbal provocation is not enough, you know, to throw the first punch. Whether you were insulted, they shouted on you and all of that, that you throwing the first punch can only be considered as a self-defense. If truly you were provocated and your life, and you were physically threatened and your life was in danger at that material time, that you had no other option than to react in order to protect yourself, to use excessive force in that way by throwing that punch to Verydarkman to protect himself. That is the only way, you know, it will be considered as a self-defense, that you needed to protect yourself from the aggression, you know, from the threat that was coming from Verydarkman. But in an airplane or from the airline industry, you know, point of view, you know, self-defense is usually judged, you know, very strictly. For such an attempt from Mr. Jollof in this instance to be considered as a self-defense, it has to be validated. It has to be grossly validated. They need to look at witness statements from passengers sitting around. They need to look at video evidence from the aircraft, from the airline have to provide video evidence, and as well as what we call crew members' observations. What did the crew members observe? What can they say about the situations? They will review all of these informations before judging or approving that throwing the first punch was in self-defense. You know what I mean? So, but primarily, now person will throw the first punch might be the primary aggressor, because verbal provocation is not considered enough for you to become the primary aggressor or to throw the first punch. You know what I mean? But for the singular reason that Verydarkman went further to engage in that fight in that very manner with Mr. Jollof, both of them will be receiving the same treatment, the same ban from Nigeria Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, from FAN. Because both of them have grossly violated the safety requirement of the airline, because on the aircraft, safety is very critical. And for that reason, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria and the airline itself will never take these things for granted. Now, finally, before I sign off, I have always told you people that education is not a scam. Education is not a scam. Mr. Jollof is supposed to be a respected public officer, public office holder. He's a senior special assistant on new media to the governor of Delta State. He's supposed to be a honorable member, but unfortunately, in this very scenario, he didn't live up to expectations by allowing himself, his anger and his emotions to becloud him, to the extent of throwing the first punch. Verydarkman also, I don't know where he stopped academically. As a matter of fact, he does not have any, known business or any known position. He's only known online to be an activist. You know what I mean? Even though many a times he doesn't want people to call him an activist, a human activist or human rights activist or whichever way you want to describe it. So, what I'm trying to say here is this. Personality is a responsibility. Yes. We cannot come out here all the time to condemn the rascality of our public office holders. Just previously, everybody was condemning Nyesom Wike. Even Verydarkman himself made a video about that. Nyesom Wike's public assault to the naval officers, public display of rascality. We condemned him, all Nigerians, almost everybody. But today, Verydarkman engaged on a serious fight with a public office holder, an SSA, senior special assistant to a governor. What a disgrace. What a display of rascality to the highest order. So like I've always said, education is very important. And aside education, continuous learning, the Igbos in their wisdom will always say, no, uto kane etoche etoche, nana amachari iva amacha. You learn every day. And for you to learn, you must be open to learning. You must open your arms to embrace corrections. You must open your arms to admit your errors and your mistakes in order to learn from them. If you are not humble enough with an open arms and open mind to receive constructive criticism, you will never learn in life. You will remain where you are. You will remain Ezonyagwanam. So if Verydarkman on his own account understands who he is and how many persons in Nigeria that looks up to him as a role model, especially the members of his Ratel movement, he will have comported himself, you know what I mean? Even though he was the one that obviously grossly provocated Mr. Jollof by walking to his seat. I don't know what he said to him that Mr. Jollof had to now give the first punch. He would have comported himself and live a more beautiful, exemplary life that will be worthy of emulation, such that people in that aircraft will even begin to say, oh, Mr. Jollof, see as a Verydarkman comported himself. Such that even when Jollof gave him that very first punch, if Verydarkman had understood that personality is a responsibility and just walk away, possibly tell Mr. Jollof, no wahala, let's see how it ends. It's even better, even if you want to have some display of rascality, let it happen outside of the aircraft. But unfortunately, like I said, when you are emotionally not aware of yourself, when you do not have a good command of emotional intelligence, when you have ignored and always believed that education is a scam, when you have, locked up your heart, living on your ego, living off your ego, off your pride, that you have become so tall and so big that whatever you know, whatever you believe in is the best. You continue to make mistakes on a daily basis and continue to display this type of rascality, thinking that you are living your best life. No. Both of them, at the end of the day, messed up. They messed up the expectations of Nigerians at large, and as such, must be treated accordingly. In whichever way the law, describes their actions, both of them should get equal punishment at the end of the day, except if the legal system or the airline industry or Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria will now begin to look at it also carefully from the legal point of view to ascertain whether only the primary aggressor will be punished at the end of the day, or both of them. In this case, I'm talking about Mr. Jollof being punished, alone as the primary aggressor who gave the first punch, or whether himself and Verydarkman will receive equal punishment. Well, at this point, I will allow you guys to be the judge, as always. Don't forget to let me know what you think in the comment section and share this video. Man, another person see him. God bless you.